He's 7 foot tall. He's 7 foot tall. He's a kid. Right. He's been trying to find his place in radio. Yeah. He's a good kid. He's just, I don't know. He spread himself pretty thin. He's got good mentors and he's motivated. Hoppe Hour is on now. Hoppe Hour is on now.
Yo, what's up? What's up? This is Hoppe Hour. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe. For the next hour, my goal in life is to change the way you think about things. For the next hour, I want my rants and my opinions to broaden your horizon. And to get into contact with me, it's not hard. It's not rocket science. All you have to do is go to the app shop for any smartphone that has the Google Play Shop or iOS. Search up Hoppe Radio, Hoppe Radio. There you can listen anytime in the world and when I'm doing the show live. I will explain why I've been doing less shows in a second. But also, if you're listening on demand, all you have to do is email me, ryanhopperadio@gmail.com, and tweet at me at ryanhopperadio. All right. So I've been doing a lot of gigs recently for 1025 The Bone. That's what helps pay the bills. That's my promotions job. I do this show on the side. It's free right now. It's not on the radio yet. So I do this for free. So I've been doing a lot of overnight board op shifts, which I absolutely love. Like, I love being there and running the board and making sure that everything goes well for the Bone. But at the same time, Sunday nights I'm working 9 to 5, and then during the week I'm working 12 to 5, and that's a.m. So that's 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. So a lot of these days I've just been absolutely worn out, and my girlfriend can attest to it. I've just been absolutely out of it and almost a little bit cranky when it's not necessary. So I've just been completely out of it, but I have been thinking as well that I need to be doing a lot more shows, because it's sort of like when an athlete or an actor doesn't practice something for, let's say, 3 weeks, then you feel full of rust. And when I'm talking to the audience on Hoppe Hour, it's a way for me to express my opinions. So I like doing the shows more, so I plan on doing it much more often. And I will definitely also come out with my own schedule so you guys know what time to tune in. So it's not just, hey, going to be live at 10:02 on a Thursday night, that you'll actually be able to say, okay, Mondays and Thursdays I can tune in at 6. All of that will be worked out, but I greatly appreciate you guys checking out the show. All right, I've been here in Tampa for about 2 years now. Grew up in Chicago, then I moved to Cleveland. Now I was there for about 3 seconds. Now I've been here in Tampa for about 26 going on 27 months. And the one thing I immediately noticed when you moved here, you weren't sure if you were just kind of imagining it here in Florida or if it was an actual epidemic. And it's the fact that literally nobody, and I mean nobody here in Florida knows how to drive. And I know you can say that about any city you live in. Oh, I'm from New York. They're maniacs up there. Oh, I'm from Chicago. They have anger issues. Oh, I'm from Los Angeles. We have traffic issues. No, no, no. The drivers here in Florida, I swear to God, have no concept of what a goddamn ambulance is. I mean, it's utterly ridiculous. Whenever I was up in the Midwest for the 21 years I was up there in Chicago and in Cleveland, people always pulled to the side of the road whenever an ambulance went by or a cop car. It's common courtesy. They're emergency vehicles. They're trying to get somewhere. And if you're late and they're causing you to be late, then you should have left earlier. You're literally a moron when you keep on driving and you keep on going down the block while there's an ambulance that's honking so hard. I mean, it's literally ridiculous how hard they have their horn being pressed down. It's like you would think it's the absolute end of the world, but it's just because idiots here in Florida, I swear, will not pull over. It's utterly ridiculous. Here's how bad you know Florida drivers are. Here's how awful you know they are. When I got pulled over last month, I'll admit, I was going 85 and a 75. I was trying to get to work on time. I got to work on time, even though I got pulled over and got a speeding ticket. And when I got the speeding ticket, they gave me this piece of paper that said, make sure to pull over for ambulances and emergency vehicles. Folks, that is when you know that Florida drivers are absolutely awful. When you literally have to print out a bunch of sheets to give to every single person that ever gets pulled over that says, please pull over for emergency vehicles. Something you literally learn in driver's ed. One of the first things in driver's ed is you always pull over for them. And if you got that thing wrong and you got the rest of the answers wrong, but or if you got the rest of the answers right, but you got that one wrong, you should have failed anyway. Because that's literally driver's 101, is that you pull over for emergency vehicles. It's absolutely infuriating. And it's just so annoying because you're in traffic and you're going down, and people are just honking so hard. Melissa, watch out for the cat. We don't want her to knock over Hoppe TV. If you're seeing my great setup here, the cat was about to knock over the desk. I swear to God, it's the greatest setup I have here. Here's something else that's been getting on my nerves recently that I was thinking about when it came to how bad Florida drivers are. And it was just something that I've noticed. And this might be something that's going on everywhere, to be fair to Florida. This might not just be down here at the Weighing of America, but nobody knows the concept of the turn signal. It's absolutely ridiculous. It literally costs companies $300 to $500 to make a turn signal. And since people aren't using them anymore, car companies can literally save $500 by not putting it in there. It's absolutely infuriating. How great is it when you're in traffic and you're going up a little bit and then you slow down? It's just that annoying traffic on US 19. And the guy that's been in front of you for 4 miles never turns on his right turn signal, so then he just abruptly turns into the neighborhood and you're like, oh, because I'm supposed to read your mind, Joe Schmo, in the pickup truck that has smoke coming out of it. I'm supposed to know that you're turning at that block. That is literally why we have turn signals in cars, to let us know with your signal where you're turning. What a concept. I'm talking like Jerry Seinfeld. It's weird. I'm just saying, it's absolutely infuriating that nobody ever thinks to use the turn signals. And the same thing goes with bikers here in St. Pete. They will always put up their turn signal sign where they put up their hand and you're supposed to figure out if they're going left or right. But then they go the opposite way. It's literally like bikers here in Florida are trying to alienate us. And people that don't know how to use turn signals and people that don't pull over for ambulances, they literally are the reason why America's laughed at and why everybody laughs at Florida. It's simple tasks that you go through in life. You pull over for ambulances, you use your turn signal, and you use the right turn signals while driving, or while biking rather. The last thing that I've noticed, and it's so annoying. So, with my job at 1025 The Bone, it's awesome. I love every second of it. But if we have a gig that's in Tampa Bay, we're located in St. Petersburg, right at the beginning of St. Petersburg at 4th. So literally, you get off at the highway, and then you're at The Bone. You're at Cox Media Tampa. So to get to any gigs that are in Lakeland, Clearwater, or Tampa, you have to go across the Howard Franklin, which is like a 15-mile bridge that connects you from Tampa to St. Pete. And when there is no traffic going on the Howard Franklin, it's a beautiful drive. It's probably the nicest drive I've ever been on. I haven't been to many places. I've been to Los Angeles. My uncle drove kind of on the cliff of those roads where you see Malibu. I've seen pretty enough drives. I've been through cities. But there literally is nothing prettier than when there's no cars on the Howard Franklin, especially during the day. You see the sun. It's glazing over the water. You see the water on each side of you. It's like being in a Sonic the Hedgehog game. Like the Howard Franklin's a fun drive. But the issue is during traffic, literally, nobody knows how to drive. And here is the biggest issue, is that it's just 3 to 4 lanes. So there's not express lanes, and people don't get the concept of the lane all the way to the left, the lane that you're supposed to pass people around in, so you're always trapped. And what happens when you're trapped on bridges is then there are car crashes. And then people have to watch the car crashes. And you know how infuriating it is that we have to plan an hour ahead of time to get somewhere that should just take 20 minutes? Because people watch car crashes. And half the time when you're on the Howard Franklin or any highway ever and you see a car crash, I would say 80% of the time the car crash was Any car crash is bad, but it's very rare that you drive by and the traffic causing car crash was like, damn! What happened to his car and his car? Usually it's just a few cars with a few dents on them, or it's some idiot teenager being pulled over. And everybody wants to watch the traffic. It's absolutely infuriating. It's the reason why I don't want to live on the Tampa side of the bridge. Unless I were to someday get a house in Land O'Lakes or Wesley Chapel and it'd be a nice place for cheap, yeah, I'll do the drive every day. But there's no reason I will ever live in apartments in Tampa when you go across the bridge and it takes longer than it should. I mean, it's absolutely infuriating. Hey, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm in an imaginary world and it's like I'm in a vortex and the Florida drivers are actually great and I'm the one that's bad. You never know. Tweet at me, at Ryan Hoppe Radio, and get the Hoppe Radio app in the Google Play and iPhone shop by searching up Hoppe Radio, Hoppe Radio. You know what's weird about this show too? Is after I'm done, first I'm self-conscious. I'll talk to my girlfriend. I'll be like, was that a good show? She's like, yes. Let's just put on TV. Was that a good show, babe? She's like, yes, that was fine. I'm like, was that a good show? And she's like, yes, Ryan, you're talented. Shut up. Like, literally, we go through this every time where she goes, be quiet. And the second thing about this show that's weird is the fact that when I'm doing the show, half the time I feel like I'm just talking to myself. I feel like a madman who lives in his small apartment in St. Petersburg and I'm just talking to the wall. Like I feel like one of those criminals that got locked up in Prison Break that's just looking at the wall, doing nothing. Like I feel like I'm locked up when I'm doing this show. And it's been like that wherever I've done the show by myself. It's not just because of my apartment. It's just this weird concept where you're like, man, I'm talking to people right now and there's nobody else in the room talking to me. It's just a weird thing with radio because like you'll have people come up to you at gigs and they're like, it was so crazy when you told that thing that happened to you on that Cleveland radio show you worked on or a few years ago on The Bone. And you go, you remember that? And they go, yeah, I was driving around and I heard you talk about it. It's weird how when you're on the radio or you're doing a podcast, if you're talking to 7 people in the room or you're talking to yourself, you never know who's going to possibly listen. Like all ears are potentially going to listen. You never know. It's absolutely crazy. And the amount of listens we've had recently on the show has gone up a lot, and I truly appreciate it. Obviously, it's nowhere near any of the viral kids like iDubbbz, the one I saw the other day on YouTube. Like, I don't have 850,000 fans. I'm not Adam Carolla or Joe Rogan, where I'm making 100,000 per show. Like, I actually checked to see how much the show was worth. I put this up a few weeks ago. My girlfriend never heard the end of it. In 2 years, I've logged in 150,000 listens and about 70,000 downloads. It's decent numbers. Obviously, that's what Adam gets in a second, but it's all right for 2 years. I've racked in with revenue $2 and now 59 cents. I've gone up 20 cents in the last 2 weeks. It was at $2.39, and I felt bad about myself. But hey, I'm making some progress because within the last 2 weeks, I've made 20 cents doing this show. Aren't you proud of me, Melissa? I've made 20 cents on this show. Doing great. Let me know what you think. Do you want to hear me rant about something? Or do you have something you want me to say on air? You want a shout out? You want me to play your music? Tweet at me at Ryan Hoppe Radio. Get the Hoppe Radio app and you can listen live anywhere in the world. We will be right back on Hoppe Hour. Do not touch that computer mouse, that tablet, however the hell you are listening to my show. Damn, take me out with that.
I won that fight was because of the training that I got from Main Event Boxing in St.
You pass me that Diet Pepsi.
Now, maybe you're not even going into a boxing match, but you want to get into shape. And you're sick and tired of looking at your gut. And you're sick and tired of going to the gym and getting average.
This is the creepy part of the show where I like kind of zoom in my face on the screen to see who's chiming in. But it looks like a giant gorilla sloth. It's just checking in.
Trust me, I'm a man of my words. When you need to go to Main Event Boxing,
the hell's watching this?
there are so much good things about them, including the fact that they have a high-intensity 30-minute body workout, which focuses on every part of your body and
Such a riveting setup I have here. It's up against my Jay Cutler doll. I literally have my phone up against it. It's interesting, completely interesting life I live.
and with the muscles you will gain into Main Event Boxing. To get into contact with them, it's not hard. It's not rocket science. All you gotta do is...
All right, we'll be back in about a minute. What's up, Craig? Oh, go away. I swear to God. Oh, my God. I like my cat and all, but I swear to God, leave. Bye. doing a show. Don't you notice that, Lily? You notice this computer and this mouse? That's why I'm a weird guy. I talk to my cat.
Is the best in the bag.
Call Hoppe, 856-49-HOPPE. That's 856-494-6773.
All right, welcome back to the show. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe, taking it back to 2002 with that hit, I Get High by Styles P. Woo! Making it rain here at Hoppe Hour. Cue the air horn. Yeah. Right, tweet at me, at Ryan Hoppe Radio, and get the Hoppe Radio app in the Google Play and iPhone shop. I cannot specify that enough. Forget about my merchandise. Just forget about my website, anything I do. You literally just need to get my app, HOPPE Radio. So maybe you listen to the show in Cleveland, and once it ends at 11 a.m., then you can go, man, let's see what Hoppe's up to. All you gotta do is click on my app. Or maybe during a commercial break of The Bone, you open up my show and you go, man, what's Hoppe been up to? All you gotta do is get the Hoppe Radio app in the Google Play and iPhone shop. Check it out. All right, I saw this article here. It's from a few weeks ago, but it's a doozy. It's absolutely hilarious. We all know that Indianapolis Colts owner, Jim Irsay, is a scumbag. Like, we've always known that he's a complete and utter loser. Like, the guy has always had drinking issues. He's always had issues with the media. You've never, ever really heard a good thing about Jim Irsay. Now, if you don't watch the NFL, Jim Irsay is this creepy owner that owns the Indianapolis Colts. Peyton Manning used to play on the team. They're a pretty well-known franchise in the NFL. Jim Irsay, billionaire, tweets out a photo of a naked woman before he claims, no, I was hacked, which literally is the go-to response for whenever anybody ever posts something that they regret. They'll go, oh no, I got hacked. That's what happened. Yeah, somehow they figured out my password and tweeted out something that I would probably tweet out. Like, if Jim Irsay's Twitter account tweeted out about helping out the environment or helping out local communities, then you could go, man, maybe he was hacked. But when Jim Irsay has been known as a weird guy, you shouldn't be surprised when he tweets out a naked picture of a woman. Just saying. The owner of the Indianapolis Colts tweeted out a photo of a naked woman and then claimed he was hacked. He deleted it about 12 minutes after it was up, which in internet land, 12 seconds is a long time to have your tweet. Because even if the tweet's loaded and you get rid of it, it hangs on that person's timeline until they close the phone or they reload everything. So when you have it sitting on Twitter for 12 minutes, you might as well just end your life. You're lucky that you're a billionaire and that you own your own team, because you literally let it sit there for an eternity online. Shortly after the photo was sent out, Irsay's account tweeted its own Twitter response at itself saying, I've been hacked. Be careful out there. Oh no. Poor Jim Irsay got drunk and tweeted out a picture of a woman. Oh no. Watch out there. Things are really happening. Acting like it's such a big deal that Jim Irsay's Twitter account got broken into. It's not like there's crime going on in Chicago and people literally need to watch their backs when they're going out for walks. It's not like we have a buffoon as a president where we literally need to watch our back. Jim Irsay, watch your back. It's bad out there. Don't tweet anything and then regret it, because you will. This was then followed by a blank tweet addressed to the accounts with nothing being said. So basically, they were panicking. He tweets out the picture, and then they try to tweet out something, and they just tweet out a response. So it's an empty tweet, and then they tweeted out the second tweet saying, oops. But you know what's great about Jim Irsay? Is the fact that he's 58 years old, he's set for life, he's owned the Colts for 20 years, he's won a Super Bowl with them, they were playoff contenders every year, Peyton Manning would choke a lot, but he's worth $2.5 billion. It's not like he's a promotions dude at a radio show where I would get fired if I did that. It's not like he's a player on a team where maybe you would get waived from the team if you tweeted out a naked picture of a woman or tweeted out something and then claim you got hacked. But when you're Jim Irsay and you're worth $2.5 billion, you can literally do what you want, which is the other awesome part of this tale of Jim Irsay, is he literally can do whatever he wants and nothing will ever come to it. He'll be fine. I saw this headline here too. But first, I want you to tweet at me. We don't have phone lines yet. And I know I've been saying that forever. But we don't have phone lines yet. So tweet at me at Ryan Hoppe Radio and get the Hoppe Radio app in the Google Play and iPhone shop by searching up Hoppe Radio. Hoppe Radio. All right. This is from TMZ. Quite the transition. We talk about Florida drivers. And then we talk about Indianapolis Colts football team owner and Jim Irsay. And now we're talking about Gimme That Rapper. You know that one-hit wonder by Webbie back in 2005? Girl, Gimme That P? Yeah, he was taken in Baton Rouge. He allegedly choked and held his girlfriend hostage. It's really weird whenever you have these rappers that live in the moment and they're huge names, and then within 10 years, they're absolute bums. Like, you don't really see it as much in, like, pop music. They'll just kind of be on reality shows, and then you see them every once in a while when you have a washed-up singer. Or country music, they do benefit shows. Or rock and roll artists, they'll play at local fests, or they'll do local shows in different cities. But it seems like rap is the only genre of music where literally, if you're washed up, you have no chance of making a comeback. Unless you were a name that people heard of. And unless you listen to rap. No one knows who Webbie is. So his life is basically over with. Rapper Webbie has been taken in Baton Rouge following an alleged dispute in a hotel room with his girlfriend. Yeah, another smart place to get into a fight with. Get into a fight at. Yeah, let's do it at a hotel room where it's not even our own place and we can claim property. Let's do it at somebody else's place that I'm paying to be at. Makes sense. Law enforcement tells us that the 25-year-old woman told cops that Webbie choked her, hit her, and refused to let her leave the room for more than 2 hours. Police say she has visible bruising around her neck and face, bad enough that she was immediately taken to the hospital. And man, who would have saw this coming when he had a classic hit like Girl, Gimme That P? I'm not exactly surprised that a rapper who showed very little respect with women, he kind of represented that era from like 2000 to 2008-ish where the girls were twerking all the time and they were being demeaned, and it was like, yo, get over here, bitch, get over here, bitch, and all the songs were just treating women like absolute whores. Like, let's say during the crunk era with Lil Jon. It doesn't surprise me that Webbie, a rapper from that era, treats women awfully. I'm just saying. Because now you see rappers treat women like gold, like DJ Khaled or Drake. They kind of treat them like a greater than living being. But the rappers back in the day were like, yeah, bitch, that's my D, and we're going to go to the club and I'm going to make it rain. It was a little more demeaning back in the day, I'm just saying. And if you ever watch old rap music videos, it's laughable how corny they are. I'm sure we're going to say the same thing about the music that's out now in 10 years. But like, you look at Soulja Boy's music video, and he's like 17 years old, and he's throwing an underage teenage drinking party where he's drinking in the middle of his mansion, and the speakers are going bammer, 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 bammer. And now you look at him, and he's like this badass. It looks like he'll beat up somebody and wanted to get into a fight with Chris Brown. It's always bizarre when you see these rappers and then they absolutely change. It's just, it's laughable. It truly shows you that being in the rap community, unless you're Jay-Z or you're Eminem or you're Ludacris, if you can make a bunch of gold records, then you're set for life. Platinum records. Or if you're a rapper that becomes an actor, like let's say Tyrese or Ludacris or Ice Cube, you're going to be set with money. But if you're one of these rappers that everyone's forgotten about, like Webbie, you're absolutely screwed. Or DMX, where he's being charged with tax evasion. Rap is literally the one type of music where you need to save your money. And it seems like these guys live in a moment and they don't. As my cat just walked in front of the Hoppe TV setup I have here in my apartment in South St. Petersburg. But that was just my take on everything going on with Webbie. Speaking of hip-hop music, I was so excited when I heard that 40... I don't know what the name of the album is, if it's 444, but the album that Jay-Z just put out, that's on Tidal, the app. And now you can get it at other places, but for a week or two, it was on Tidal. I put out this post on Facebook. It's Jay-Z, the rapper, has a new album, and it's only on this one music app. And I have Spotify. So I literally sent out a tweet on Facebook. I was like, hey! I said in some words or not, do you guys know how to get Jay-Z's album? I'm not paying for it. And somebody graciously gave me their Tidal login info for the app Tidal. And I swear to God, there are so many rap songs out there that are pretty catchy, and so many rock songs and so much EDM out there that we don't know about because they're not playing it on the radio. I mean, you have Joey Badass, you have Rhapsody, you have all these rappers. Even DJ Khaled has better songs than the ones that are being played on the radio. It's unreal that the best music you will find is on a paid music service. You don't even find this on YouTube. Some of the best underground music can be found on these apps. What's funny is the apps are much more fun to use when you're not paying for it. Like for the longest time, I had Sirius XM for free, but then my friend lost his membership, so then paying $12 a month wasn't as much fun. So the fact that I have Tidal for free makes it a lot more fun. But if I was paying $12 a month for music, it'd be a little bit different. But I would say check it out. It's very fun to hear different music out there. All right, tweet at me at Ryan Hoppe Radio. Get the Hoppe Radio app and listen to me and message me anytime in the world. Go to my website, ryanhopperadio.com. All right, we will be back on Hoppe Hour after this. Do not touch that computer mouse, that tablet, however the hell you are doing or checking out my show. It did? That sucks. I hate that I have to wait 8 seconds to go to break, because then it just plays over it when I record it.
What's up? This is Ryan Hoppe from the award-winning Hoppe Hour podcast here in Tampa Bay, and I'm here today to talk about my friends Christine and Tony Spinney of the cell phone solution of Metro PCS in South Pasadena. And what I liked about them immediately is they care about their customers. They want to help you guys find an affordable Metro.
Hey Trey! My friend who is an egomaniac narcissist, Trey, is watching. Hey Trey, you narcissist.
You're low on cash, but you want to have a smartphone. In 2016, when everybody's a part of the smartphone phenomenon. Trust me when I say the cell phone.
I love how Trey's not saying anything, making me look crazy.
PCS is the place to go to. They also will help you fix your cell phone. Maybe you've dropped it or the headphone jack isn't working. Tony Spinney is a man of his words, and he will be able to fix your phone. And maybe you don't know how to work the smartphone. If you want to fit in with the cool kids, Tony Spinney also gives lessons. So there's no reason not.
I love how you plugged your Snapchat. Yo, everybody add me, Melissa.
Yes, Abby.
It's not hard. It's not rocket science. All you have to do is go visit them.
I bruised Trey's arm when I punched him. Ha ha. That's what you get for shit talking me. I sound like a violent maniac.
Boulevard South, Suite 107, and call them at 727-331-1934. That's 727-331-1934. And if you go there and tell them that I sent you, they will hook you up with a deal. Trust me when I say the cell phone solution of Metro PCS in South Pasadena is the best in the Bay.
You ready for this podcast magic, babe?
Totally.
Oh man, if you're watching on Hoppe TV, things are so turned up right now. It's crazy here in South Pasadena. I'm drinking a Diet Pepsi at 10:20 at 10:36 p.m. on a Thursday night. YOLO. Just had a half a glass of wine, and my cat is over there licking herself. I'm living quite the life here in St. Petersburg. All right, check out my Twitter account, @RyanHoppe Basically, that's my social media. I'm trying to figure out how to have a phone line in here. So if anybody knows how to add a phone line to a board, a Yamaha board, let me know. This is not an overnight thing. Like, everything's been going great the last 5 months. Things keep on growing, but I do need to add a phone line. All right. I saw this headline here, and this was absolutely laughable, but I thought about it, and this is NBA news, and I thought about it. I was like, maybe this is a good thing for content. Maybe this is something that will be good. And it's the fact that Lavar Ball, everyone's favorite Lavar Ball, and that family will be getting their own reality show on Facebook. And at first, I was kind of being a protest, fake outrage about it. Like, oh, Lavar Ball. And for people that don't know who Lavar Ball is, as I play this NBA music, Lavar Ball is the father of Lonzo Ball, who got drafted by the Los Angeles Lakers and has been having a great NBA Summer League. I mean, he's been absolutely tearing it up. He had a triple-double. He's been doing great. But the thing is, he's so confident about his kid. Back when his kid was playing at UCLA, he said his kid was already better than Curry. So everyone's been hating on Lonzo Ball, and I was one of them. I thought he was annoying. But here's the thing. He's actually really good content, especially for radio shows. Like, I'm going to probably keep on talking about him. He's very entertaining. They've literally done nothing wrong besides be really cocky. Lavar Ball is basically the 2010 version of LeBron James, that whole Miami Heat era where they were the enemies. I mean, he's done nothing wrong. He's never hit his woman. He's not getting DUIs. He's just really cocky, and he lives through his kids. And he's just a smack talker. I mean, he's basically every overcompensating dad ever. And I've just kind of learned to appreciate Lavar Ball and just take in his humor. I see this here from TMZ. Lavar Ball, we're not the Kardashians. Don't you ever call us that. Well, here's where Lavar Ball loses me. He says, don't call them the Kardashians of basketball, even though he's literally modeling himself after the Kardashians. He's the Kris Kardashian of the family, the one that puts together everything. And then the kids are like the three sis, Kim, Chloe, and Courtney. It's really sad I know their names. And it's basically like he's making a basketball clan of it because the media keeps on talking about it. And that's fine. Lavar Ball, embrace who you are. You guys have not proven anything in the league yet. Your two kids that are younger than Lonzo have not proved anything. You didn't prove anything in college. Embrace this overnight attention you're getting from the media, from websites, from everybody. Embrace the hate, but don't forget who you are. It's not like you guys are this respectable family. Over time, if your three kids become the greatest players of all time, then you will be known as a basketball guru. But right now, you're just a jackass. But embrace that you're a jackass because you have your own shoe deal for your kids and a TV show. He said, I ain't no Kardashian. Well said. I ain't no Kris Jenner. I ain't no Kris Jenner. He said, well said. We the Balls. Welcome to the ball era. Ugh, it's so corny. That just reeks of reality TV. I ain't no Kardashian. I ain't Kris Jenner. We the Balls. Welcome to the ball era. Ugh. That just reeks of somebody that's writing a show for them that gave them a corny-ass line. Or his goofy ass just came up with it out of nowhere. It says here on TMZ, keeping it real. The Kardashians comparisons make sense. Each family has one super famous kid. The names begin with the same letter. Okay, TMZ is reaching. And like Kris Jenner, Lavar Ball seems to be the marketing genius, the branding genius as well. Here's my thing. Here's my issue with the Balls. It's the fact that I'm a die-hard Lakers fan. My uncle lives in Los Angeles for about the last 36, 37 years. He moved there when Magic was a rookie and won the Finals MVP. He was there for the whole Larry Bird, Magic Johnson era. He saw Kobe Bryant get drafted and Shaq leave to Magic and joined the Lakers in the 90s. He saw everything. The Lakers when they were good in 2009 and 2010. So I began watching the Lakers in about the year 2000 when Shaq and Kobe were on the same team. And we would talk on the phone while watching the games at night and be like, oh my God, did you just see Kobe Bryant's dunk? Oh my God, Shaq is great. So I'm a big Lakers fan. It's a Chicago Bulls and Lakers fan. So I have this issue when it comes to rooting for the Ball family and rooting for Lonzo Ball, is the fact that Lavar Ball drives me nuts. I'm just learning to embrace that as funny content for the show. Lavar Ball drives me nuts. But the thing about it is, I'm a Lakers fan, and I want there to be the next top-tier player since Shaq's gone, obviously, for years, and Kobe's gone. There's no next top-tier player for the Lakers, so obviously, I'm rooting for Lonzo to be good. So it's weird where I want him to prove his dad right, that he's going to be the greatest player of all time for the Lakers, but at the same time, if he goes on to be a Hall of Fame player in 17 years, and we look back on this day, that you're listening to my show, that means LeVar Ball has been right his whole life, and we'll hear about him for the rest of his life. So I'm at a crossroads. More NBA news here. I saw this from Deadspin. It says here, Chris Paul reportedly wanted a trade from the Clippers because he hated Doc Rivers' relationship with his kid on the team. And here's the thing. I know that Austin Rivers, when he was at Duke, he was a highly regarded talent. I completely get it. I get that he had that buzzer beater in like 2011 against the UNC Tar Heels. Like, I get that there was so much hype going around Austin Rivers. He's supposed to be the next big thing in basketball. He's around my age. I remember we would watch basketball prospects when we were in the library at school, and the names we heard about were like Kyrie Irving, and then the other name was this guy, Austin Rivers. You would always hear about him. He was supposed to take over the league, but he didn't. He really hasn't done much. He was a high draft pick. He was supposed to be great, but he's really proven nothing. So here's the thing. He goes to the Clippers where his dad, Doc Rivers, an NBA champion coach, gave him a shot and they got him on the team. But it seems here with the headline saying that Chris Paul wanted a trade because of the relationship, it seemed like Doc kept his kid on there way too long. I mean, with all the playoff runs that the Clippers had and all the primetime games, I cannot think of one game with Austin Rivers where I went, oh my God, he shows why he's a great bench player, or he shows great potential. Yeah, he would have nice quarters where maybe he would score 7 points and you go, man, that's a good bench player, kinda, but he never ever really pointed out anything. You never watched Austin Rivers and go, man, wow, that guy is definitely adding to the Clippers. It says here, last week, news broke that the Clippers traded Chris Paul to the Rockets for several players and a projected first-round pick. Los Angeles will once again lose one of the greatest point guards to ever play. It says here, as the trade has sent basketball in the last few weeks into a frenzy, information is being spilled about the motive for the trade. According to ESPN's Michael Eaves, a local Clippers radio host, Chris Paul's relationship began with the issues with head coach and president of basketball operations Doc Rivers. That's where things get really complicated, is when Doc Rivers is the head of basketball operations, everything that goes on, and he's the head coach. So obviously he kept vouching for them to re-sign his kid. He never gave up on his kid, and it seems like that drove everybody nuts, and that's why one of the greatest point guards of all time is no longer playing with Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan in Los Angeles. Paul's relationship with Doc Rivers began to go down after they picked up his son. Several members of the team felt like his son acted entitled because his dad was both the coach and the president of basketball operations. That is where, if we look upon this era of Doc Rivers being the coach of the Los Angeles Clippers, we will look back on the fact that he let his kid act too entitled for people in the locker room, and that's why they never were able to make it farther, is because they weren't able to keep the core team around them. If you're the head coach of the second biggest city in this country, Los Angeles, a team in that city, in the Clippers, even though it's not the Lakers, it's a big-time team in Los Angeles. When you're the coach of that team and you're the basketball operations, you have to put the relationship with your kid aside and realize if he's deteriorating the team and bringing team morale down, if you really want to lose Chris Paul, is it really that worth it? And it seems like it was in the end. And he says that a lot of people felt like he treated them better than the games and wasn't as harsh as him in, let's say, basketball huddles when they were in team breaks, when they would take a timeout. So that's just a nightmare all around. I mean, it's absolutely bad for the Clippers that they left and they lost Chris Paul. Chris Paul has another really weird legacy because he's never been to the conference finals for either league. But he's got numbers where you look at him and you go, man, he is one of the greatest of all time. What do you think of Chris Paul and CP3? My girlfriend's bored out of her mind. Tweet at me, at Ryan Hoppe Radio. We get the Hoppe Radio app in your Google Play and iPhone shop, and let me know what you think. We will be right back. We have more to get into after this. Do not touch the computer mouse, that tablet, however the hell you're listening to my show.
I hate Lily.
I know, me too. Don't worry.
What's up? This is Ryan Hoppe from the award-winning Hoppe Hour podcast here in Tampa Bay, and I'm here today to talk about my guy, Joe Sale of the Tampa Image Factory. About 4 months ago, I needed somebody to take press shots for me for my podcast, and it was hard to find people because it seems like in this day and age, everybody is a photographer. But the thing that I immediately liked about Joe Sale was that he was a laid-back guy who was willing to work with my
What do you think of my show, babe?
And I immediately dug the vibe of his office. The things they have there include family portraits, commercial work for your company. They can make images for your events, your big day when you're going to get married at your wedding. And they even make photography for products and anything you need for the home or office. And if you're sitting here and you're going, man, this sounds like quite the deal. Man, how can I get into contact with such a trustworthy and hardworking photographer like Joe Sale? Trust me, it's not rocket science. All you got to do is call him at 813-417-2626. It's 813-417-2626. Or you can check him out online at TampaImageFactory.com. That is TampaImageFactory.com. And if you go there and tell them that I sent you, he will hook you up with a top-notch deal. Trust me when I say Joe Sale of the Tampa Bay Image Factory is the best in the Bay.
Alright, I don't even want to really talk about Shia LaBeouf. So I feel like he did this all for attention, and I truly believe that Shia LaBeouf is going... God damn it. This is what you love about doing your show in a small apartment in St. Petersburg, is the fact that your cat knocks over your setup while you're doing the show as I go to pick up my setup. What I was saying about Shia LaBeouf was the fact that it seems like he's doing this all for attention, and Shia LaBeouf is going to get away with absolutely everything. I don't care that he threatened a cop. I don't care that Shia LaBeouf's out of his mind and he has all these criminal charges that will probably get thrown towards him. Doesn't matter. He's worth a lot of money. Shia LaBeouf is worth a lot of money, and he's going to get a top-notch lawyer. He's going to get a top-notch guy who is going to make him look really, really good. And he will get out of this. I promise you. He'll be fine. Nothing's going to happen. That's all I got to say. I first thought about bashing Shia LaBeouf and really going off on him. But then I realized, like, then you're just giving him the time of day. And then, whatever. I mean, there's no reason to talk about him. He's a rich, famous actor. He's going to get away with whatever he wants. And we're going to sit here making fun of him while we're giving him free PR. I'm just saying. All right. Hoppe Hour is about to end. It really, really felt good to do this show. What felt best about the show was I haven't done one in about 3 weeks. So it was like, it felt good to express my opinion and let you guys know how I feel. And it feels like it's almost like therapy. Not in like a hacky way, where radio shows that are single spend the whole time talking about how they're single to get attention. It's different where it feels like I'm actually giving my opinion. And what I'm doing is I'm letting you guys know how I feel. I try to be original. With this show, it's not the most original thing. Oh, wow. A loudmouth is talking into a microphone, talking about things. Ooh, who's ever seen this before? But I truly believe in my heart that I will, at some point in my life, hopefully sooner than later, get it on the radio. I do think I would need to have a team around me, or I would need to be a co-host first, or I would need to be a producer of a show to get my foot in the door, since I'm just a board op right now and I'm working in promotions. But what I'm saying is, with Happy Hour, I'm really trying to make this appointment listening. I don't want it to just be a name that, oh, Mike Kelta helped Hoppe win Best Local Podcast in 2015 by promoting him. Like, I want you guys to actually listen to my show and go, wow, Hoppe changed the way I looked at things. Oh, wow, traffic on the Howard Franklin was an absolute bitch. It was awful. It was terrible. But listening to Hoppe made time go by. I want to be appointment listening. So spread the word. Let me know what you think, honestly. Email me, RyanHoppeRadio@gmail.com. Tweet at me at RyanHoppeRadio. Every social media outlet is Ryan Hoppe Radio, but Snapchat's Hoppe Radio. They won't let me change it. Let me know what you think and spread the word. Let your friends know about the show. We have a good amount of listeners from when I've had the cast of the Rizzuto show on in St. Louis, the top-rated morning show. So I get a decent amount of listeners. It's like each city that I get listeners from, I'll have like 4 or 5 really diehard listeners, and then I get listens there. Spread the word. Let people know, and I'm going to start doing the show more often. Anyway, enough of me talking to myself like I'm in a rubber room. This has been Happy Hour. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe, saying peace out.